They called her a savior, a prophet, a queen sent by the heavens. But by the time her reign ended, nothing remained but ash, bone, and silence. There are few rulers in history who are remembered not for the enemies they defeated, but for the people they destroyed. And fewer still who left behind no monuments, no heirs, no cities, only fire. This is the story of Queen Alisanne of Eredhal, the woman who burned her entire kingdom to the ground. Her name is almost absent from the history books, intentionally so. For those who wrote history feared her legacy. They feared what she had become. But if you go deep enough, far beyond the sanctioned scrolls and gilded archives, you'll find fragments. Burned letters, sealed confessions, a single torn journal page discovered in the ruins of a library that no longer exists. And they all say the same thing. She was not always a monster. Alisanne was born during a solar eclipse, an omen the priests claimed. Her mother died in childbirth, her father, the king, was poisoned a year later. And so, at the age of 1, she was crowned Queen of Eredhal, the youngest monarch in recorded history. For the first 15 years, the kingdom was ruled by regents, old, greedy men who used the infant queen as a pawn. But the moment Alisanne came of age, something changed. The regents began dying one after another. Some vanished. Others were found with their tongues cut out, or their hearts removed and placed neatly beside their bodies. At 16, Alisanne declared herself the sovereign flame. A queen not by blood, but by divine right. She disbanded the royal court, burned the old laws, and banned all religions except one, the worship of fire. Not metaphorical fire, real fire, sacred, consuming, cleansing. She built great towers of flame across her cities, lit bonfires that never went out. She declared that all lies would burn, that all sins would be purified in smoke, and her people followed, not out of fear, but devotion, because in those early years something miraculous happened. The sick were healed, crops flourished, her soldiers never lost a battle. They believed the fire loved her, but power like that comes with a price. Whispers began to spread, of nightly rituals, of screams echoing from the palace vaults, of masked priests dragging nobles into fire pits beneath the citadel. Alisanne began to change. She no longer appeared in public. Her voice came only through proclamations, etched in ash-blackened parchment. She wore a veil of soot and gold. Her once vibrant eyes now burned amber. Some said, like live embers. And then came the purge. On the 13th year of her reign, Alisanne accused the southern province of blasphemy. She claimed they had worshipped water, an act she called treason. She marched with her army, called the Ember Guard, and razed every town, every village, every tree. Over 40,000 people vanished in a single winter. And that was only the beginning. The more she burned, the more powerful she seemed to become. She stopped aging. Storms parted for her. Her enemies died before reaching her borders. But inside her capital, something was unraveling. People began disappearing. Not just dissenters, but entire families. Architects, historians, blacksmiths, children. A resistance formed. They called themselves the Last Light. Their goal was not to dethrone the queen, but to extinguish her. They claimed she was no longer human, that she had made a pact with something ancient, something buried beneath Eredhal's oldest temple, a place now reduced to molten rock. They believed she was drawing power from a fire that never died. One man, an ex-priest named Calivius, managed to infiltrate her inner circle. What he wrote in his final letter chills the spine. He said, "She does not eat. She does not sleep. She speaks in tongues. The fire speaks through her. And I have seen what lies beneath the throne. It is not stone. It is a mouth of flame. And it is hungry." Shortly after sending the letter, he was burned alive in the public square. But it was too late. The Last Light acted. They poisoned the city's aqueducts, set fire to grain stores, and opened the palace gates to rebels. The capital descended into chaos. But Alisanne did not fight back. She walked calmly into the grand pyre at the center of the citadel, stood upon a pillar of bone, and said one final decree. If the kingdom rejects the flame, then the kingdom shall become the flame. Then she plunged her golden staff into the heart of the pyre. Witnesses say the sky split open. Flames unlike anything seen before swept across the land. Not orange or red, but white-hot, searing and silent. Entire cities turned to ash in seconds. The rivers boiled, the mountains cracked, and in less than one day, the entire kingdom of Eredhal was gone. Not conquered, not overthrown, burned. Nothing remains of it on maps. No ruins, no artifacts, just scorched earth and a dead zone where no birds fly, where compasses spin, and where silence reigns. But some say the fire never truly died. That if you travel to the center of the wasteland once called Eredhal, on the night of a solar eclipse, you can still see the flames rise. And in them, the silhouette of a queen in gold and soot, waiting, watching, listening for her kingdom to return, because the fire never forgets. It only waits.